Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to my Media AT evaluation. Question number 1. In what ways does your media product ease, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real-life media products? In order to create a successful media production, it was imperative that I research into the conventions and general history of music videos. Music videos are simply a promotional tool that promotes the artist, the song and the album. Furthermore, it provides a platform where the artist can establish their image, brand and personality. This is essential as it enables the artist to stand out from other artists that fall under the same genre. Okay, so for my music video, I've researched into codes and conventions. So codes and conventions are a way of constructing meaning in a media text. I analysed 3 music videos. Show images. I did this so I could understand conventions in terms of camera angles, mise-en-scène, and just the general whole of music videos. The genre of music featured within my music video is indie pop. So through research, I have analysed the three music videos that you've just previously seen. The codes and conventions that can be found within a music video are narrative. An example of this would be Katy Perry's Thinking of You, performance, Arctic Monkeys, cameo, Ed Sheeran, the A-Team, and animation. Research, I found that there were 2 categories in the conventions of music videos, technical and symbolic. My music video falls under symbolic, as meaning is created beyond what is obvious, while there is the use of facial expressions and mise-en-scène throughout which are appropriate. Pop videos usually contain a clear mise-en-scène with a modern representation of women. A variety of shots are seen where the audience can see the character fully. Close-ups tend to feature throughout the music video to show the female's attitude. However, an indie music video tends to come across as carefree and casual with a stronger narrative compared to rock videos. After planning my music video, I feel that although the genre of my track is indie pop, my music video features more pop elements due to the representation of the characters and performance element. In terms of challenging, my music video will not feature my artist performing or doing a dance at a live concert, which is normally seen in pop music videos, such as, again, Katy Perry, Hot and Cold.
That voice that you find it annoying isn't something that intelligent.
You just saw a clip of my music video to see how it follows the conventions of real media products with the camera angles, mise-en-scène, narrative. Okay, so moving on. Music videos are essential to marketing of popular music. So, I'm referring back to the question, found that my music video does appear to go against a number of real media products due to the swearing that features in the track. Ofcom is a communications regulator which ensures that the public is protected from harmful or offensive material, particularly pre-watershed. This means that due to the taboo language that features within my music video, it would be classed as unsuitable for children. When constructing my music video, it was really important to have a knowledge on narrative theory and theorists. In terms of structure, my music video appears to have a closed narrative, meaning that the story ends with a clear ending, allowing the audience to make verdicts on the characters. This could also be said to be a linear structure, as there is a clear beginning, a middle where the events build, and an ending. Theorists that apply to my work. Starting off with a relationship between the lyrics and the visuals, with the visuals illustrating or contradicting the lyrics. My music video particularly features a lot of synchronization of sound and moving image.
You set on my sleep so many lemons.
So in the music at the end, the track dies out, and there's a bit where my character is walking away. So although there isn't any lyrics going on at this point, there is a link between the music and the visuals. Otherwise, if she was prancing around, dancing around, it just wouldn't work. And here is an example of that. Okay, a genre-related style throughout. It's clear that in my music video there's a particular genre. There's the genre of love and romance and relationships, for a start, and then there's a genre thanks to the mise en scène due to the 1950s style that is particularly throughout until the end when we see the female character leave her husband. Voyeurism. Okay, well, my character may not be prancing around in a provocative outfit, but she is, however, shown as a domestic housewife, which by others, such as myself and other females, would be seen as offensive. And intertextuality references. Well, for example, with the 1950s genre, I feel that can work with intertextuality, just because like when you watch old 1950s cleaning product adverts, the characters and the decor of the house are similar to how my music video appears. Okay, right. Genre theory. Each genre has its own set of characteristics which are recognised and identified by the audience. This is reproduced again and again in every music video. Okay, so when researching genre theory, I've previously mentioned about the genre of my track, but now I'm going to go into genre as a whole. So my music video, some would say, oh, it's got a 1950s genre, but then once they realise that we're not actually in the 1950s, it's still modern day, it's a mix of those two genres, and I feel that this challenges real life media products, because when I've researched music videos that have a particular genre to them, such as the 1950s, 60s genre, it's been throughout as if they're living in the 1950s, such as Beyonce's Why Don't You Love Me, Christina Aguilera's Candyman and Ain't No Other Man, and Cheryl Cole's Under the Sun. Whereas my music video doesn't do this, it's a mix. I did this because I feel like this 1950s genre wouldn't appear in every video, and I think that way it makes it easier for my artist in terms of branding, because that way I can show that she's doing these things in a music video because of what she believes about feminism, rather than she's a fan of the 1950s, because that means I'd have to brand everything as 1950s. The aim of my music video was to show the public the roles women once had in society and how that's developed over the years. This shows in my character's acting, as the audience can clearly see that it's starting to challenge the stereotypical housewife that she portrays. I wish for my music video to teach those who don't understand representation of women and the 1950s era itself. Okay, so referring back to the question again, in terms of developing real media products, I feel that my music video develops real media products through the use of representation. This is simply because I feel that music videos today, such as Kesha's music videos, the woman's moving around and that she's confident, that she's independent, but I wanted to teach audiences how this occurred. So I wanted to show the 1950s, where the whole craze of being domestic goddess and all the advertisements were all really, really big. But I wanted to have a more educational approach whilst being funny and relating to the track, obviously. It goes against the male gaze. However, it follows representations of women in the media, such as the domestic woman versus the sex object. The maternal domestic woman has remained. In an advert for a domestic or household item today, you're just likely to see a female in the advert as you were once in the past. An interesting point to consider here is whether the media, by associating women with washing machines and cleaning products, is reflecting society, or whether it is shaping society through this over-representation. Basically creating this idea that it's normal for women to assume the role as a domestic goddess in the household. In terms of mise-en-scène, the female character in my music video is represented as the domestic goddess. But it's clear in my music video that the character is not your stereotypical domestic goddess. Some may say that this is going against conventions, as my character is going against conventional roles in society. This is commonly seen in other music videos that are out there on the market today. Although the mise-en-scène of my music video displays an old-fashioned image, it is in fact set in our current year. Stereotypes are also clearly shown within my music video. Stereotype is a label that involves a process of categorization and evaluation. We can all call stereotypes shorthand to narratives because such simplistic representations define our understanding of media text. For example, we know in a media text when there's the goodie and there's the baddie. But in my music video, I feel that it's not entirely clear who is actually the goodie and who is the baddie. How did I use media technologies in the construction, research and planning and evaluation stages? Within my media product, I have used a range of media technologies in the planning, construction and evaluation stages of my work. My planning and research element of my coursework was evidenced by my creation of an online blog displaying what I'd learnt from real media texts and how I would apply these influences or theories to my own work. It was in fact the internet that was the biggest contribution when it came to my planning and research. This was because I used the internet for my secondary research in terms of theories, genre. By using the web, I was also able to produce a mood board. The mood board shows images that influenced me for my own music video. YouTube, a video sharing site, was another software used. It allowed me to watch music videos that related to my project as well as analyse 3 music videos. By reviewing other music videos, it enabled me to understand how mise-en-scène is used in terms of genre and representation. It also allowed me to understand narrative structures. I also use YouTube to publish my draft to then link to my Wix blog. By doing this, it allows me to advertise my music video on both social networking sites and YouTube itself. This is known as viral marketing, which targets the 15 to 25-year-olds. This is in fact my target audience. Constructing my music video, I use the software Final Cut Pro. This software allowed me to trim and duplicate clips. This was because some clips were either too long or I wanted to use them more than once. Final Cut Pro also enabled me to use editing techniques such as transitions. This created a professional look and allowed audiences to see from one clip to another. I also used editing techniques to speed up certain clips. This was used to add to the lazy representation of the male character. Photoshop played a large part when producing my ancillary tasks. It allowed me to construct a digipack and an advertisement and a tour poster. Photoshop endorsed me to manipulate my shots. This allowed them to appear more professional, which therefore appeals to my target audience and also appears attractive. When editing my shots on Photoshop, I often use the burn tool and the curve tool to create an oil painting effect. I feel that this represents art, as art and music often collide together. This also shows off my creativity whilst making the front cover appear unique, making it stand out on the shelf. When using Photoshop, I also combined it with the internet. Whilst using the Photoshop software, I also combined it with the internet to collect images of the record company logo to give my products a sense of realism, whilst following the conventions of real media products. When creating my evaluation, firstly I use Microsoft Word to answer the questions and to create a script. When producing my evaluation, I have created a video, and again I use Final Cut Pro. I use Final Cut Pro to edit in images and clips that relate to what I'm saying. So, question number 3. How effective is the combination of my main media project and the ancillary tasks? In order to advertise and promote the artist, an advertisement or tour poster must be produced. By creating a digipack, it allows audiences to buy the artist's track whilst gaining a sense of cohesion between the artist and the artwork of their album. An example of this is The Killers. When producing my digipack, I performed research into the conventions. This was done so I could find the measurements and also see what was required of me. When shooting my shots for my digipack, I used a white background and a British flag. I directed my model to pose to the side, appearing powerful. This was done because I wanted my digipack to work alongside my music video. Throughout my music video, my female character is displaying to the audience how women are wrapped in their typical stereotypes such as sex objects or cleaners, particularly in mine, a cleaner. So when it came to my digipack, I wanted to show how my artist was a strong, independent woman, and this is something that she's shown out throughout my music video when she leaves her partner because she is sick and tired of being this domestic housewife. As Kate Nash is a British artist, I used the flag to show the audience that she is a strong British female. This way she can be represented as an icon. I felt that it was imperative for there to be a sense of cohesion between my work, so that's why I wanted my digipack to relate to the narrative within the music video. That way I can create a brand rather than just a CD / album on a tour poster and a music video. I can present a brand where my artist is in fact a feminist. Question number 4. What has been learned over the coursework production task as a whole? During my Media A2 production, I learned a variety of skills due to the technologies that were used in order to produce my music video. Before starting the project, I was familiar with the Apple Mac computers. However, I was required to adapt and develop my knowledge in order to take screenshots, use the Microsoft Word software, and successfully save and open work. Okay, so starting with Final Cut Pro. With Final Cut Pro, having to adapt my originated skills took a long time as I'd never used the software before. At the start of my project, I was inexperienced on how to use the software, but I slowly gained an understanding through the help of peers in the group and tutorials online on YouTube. Finally, I began to warm to the Final Cut Pro software, understanding how it works, and I was soon able to learn how to edit clips, add filters, and incorporate the track. As a photography student, I was already familiar with Photoshop CS5. However, I wasn't aware of how to produce a digipack and the conventions that were involved within it. The biggest learning curve that occurred during my project is my newfound knowledge on music videos. Before starting this A2 media coursework, I was unaware of how much thought and planning went into a music video. I was also unaware of narrative theories, the reception theory, and the uses and gratifications theory. Now, thanks to my research and planning performed online, I understand how important it is to have a narrative as it enables the music video to relate to certain age groups and social groups. It is in fact these who are the consumers. I had always had a small knowledge on representation and stereotypes. Such as blonde hair, blue eyes means stupid, and men are lazy, and women are just good for cleaning, and so on. However, before my research and planning, I didn't understand feminism and how gender can be represented in the media in so much detail. Very little knowledge on genre theorists and representation theorists. Now, you can clearly see through my work that I fully understand all things genre and representation. My research and planning was blogged on Wix. Wix is an online blogging website which I chose to upload my work on. Again, before starting this project, I was unaware of what Wix even was, and I had no idea on how I would use it. At first I was finding it very difficult and ended up starting my plan and research on a PowerPoint. However, after going through templates and playing around with designs, I soon came around on how to use the blogging system. And now I have successfully created my very own blog. Overall, I have learned how to use Final Cut Pro effectively and successfully, as well as learning that there is more to the eye when it comes to music videos.